Okay, today we're doing something a little bit different, and we've been thinking about trying to make videos this way. More this way. You know, we have a stinking stick for holding up the front.
I know. Why aren't we using it?
Why aren't we using it? All right, everybody.
We are back. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we've been really busy, but we really need to get better at making the videos and stuff. Today we are going to do something a little bit different with the whole excavation side of stuff. Today we are going to do kind of a how-to video. So, well, today we're going to work on a grazing system. We have been for like the last, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yep, so stay tuned for the full video.
But if nobody knows what a rotational grazing system, a quick overview is it's a government funded kind of halfway funded deal where they make your land more useful, and it's pretty much for the health of the soil and to make your cows healthier, but they put in a water system and all that. But because I have an excavation business, we're going to do it ourselves on the farm, but we're still being funded by the government in that way. But today we're not doing a how to do a rotational grazing system because that will be a longer video coming soon. But today we're going to focus on a small portion, and that is how to install a electric fence gate correctly on a rotational grazing system. And it's a little more different than just wiring a gate across the way and attaching it to a hook. But this one, you have to dig a ditch. You have to go from the existing electric fence that's already put in, go under the ground and connect to the other end of the gate. The reason being is you have to make sure the electric fence stays hot all the time, even when you undo the gate. So the idea is when you open the gate goes dead, but the rest of the fence stays going. And you guys will understand that once I start digging and we start putting it in. But for right now, we're gonna hop in the excavator and we're gonna get a ditch dug here. This gate just so happens to be on our driveway, so a little bit of an issue here with the gravel and stuff. So we gotta figure that out. Pretty much I'm going to try and dig a 10-foot section of gravel out until I get down to the dirt, and then we'll dig down in the dirt a little bit and create a pile on the other side so we can just backfill it with the dirt. And then after it's all over, instead of wasting gravel, we're gonna cap it back with the old gravel and it should work. That's the idea anyway. So let's get to excavating for a momentito. Right?
Right.
She is
Tying my
tying
shoe because they always come unlaced.
Run down, Brunt.
No, Brunt is amazing, but
Her tying skills aren't.
they're okay. They could be better.
Yeah, well, you ever heard of a double knot?
Nope. I mean, yep, but then it's like hard to get them untied.
Okay, I got up in the excavator. Your turn.
Get with it.
Alright, now we got the handwork left, and then put in the conduit. Or PEX pipe for this.
What does the handwork consist of?
Just right by the post.
And why does the wire have to be touching the post?
So it looks professional. That's why. Because if you have it popping up out of the ground over here, then you have that much more gate opening being used, and then cows will be going through this pretty often, and they don't need to be hitting the wire because this wire right here will be going underground, and I usually cut the pipe off right there, and you usually have to take this wire and attach it to the fence. So it can't be out in the open or else stuff will catch it and break it off. Speaking of that, I just touched a hot fence. Luckily I didn't touch it long enough to get shot.
I was gonna say, don't
But
forget
you
that
should probably go hop
summer.
on the 4-wheeler and go shut it off.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another tip when you guys are doing some electric fencing is when you start to work on it, probably the best idea is to make sure it's off. So that way you don't get shocked, nobody else gets shocked, you know, and all is good. But yeah, we're turning it off. Because Brock could have just gotten shocked because he touched it. Psh, I would have too. Sometimes I forget it's there. But I remember. So it's off and nobody's getting shocked now.
Need the cutters. And then we will set this out. Yes. You just pull this end over there and put it down against the post like that. You got it?
Yep.
Make sure it works. Is it good?
Yep.
Huh?
Yes.
Yep. Stretch this sucker out. There we go. All right. I'm gonna go grab the wire. Then we'll start feeding it through before I do what I did last time. I messed it up last time. It wasn't straight enough. Gonna go hold that end out. Well, that didn't take long.
You want this much or more?
I love this. I need my cutters, but I need a lot more. Put it down there. All right, go grab my cutters. My other cutters. Plenty, but I also got plenty of this water. Take that out of the way. All right, here's a small detail to show up close to everybody. This is like, nobody else would do this, but I do it just because it bothers me because I want everything perfect. But we use PEX pipe to go underground because we're only going like 12 inches. At the end of the day, it's still just an electric fence. But at the end, I put a plastic PEX cap with a clamp. And some people may say the clamp's just way overdone, but Oh well. But the way we do that, we just take a plastic cap, just like this. We will drill out the center of it with a drill bit, of course. And then it looks like that, and it'll slip right over this wire. Pretty much that keeps about 90% of the water out from just setting in this pipe all the time. And then getting wasps and all that fun stuff around. That way when you aren't opening the gate, or when you're opening the gate, you don't have a bunch of freaking bugs and wasps coming out of there trying to sting you. So. I should probably describe what I'm doing, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you cutting it?
This is just stripping wire, which not everybody knows about how to do that. But this wire is a lot easier. It just has a little plastic thing in it. You just gotta cut around it with regular pliers, and then it'll slip right off. But then there's this little bolt, and these things are actually pretty cool. Never use them on regular electric fence, but they loosen, and then you just shove the wire up through there. I'll give myself a little slap. You can put both of them in there, just like so. And we're going to bend this down, just like that. Now, I'm going to take these 2 wrenches, if I could ever actually get this right. I want it. There we go. And tighten it down. So I'm sure they're going to pop out again because, you know, that's just how stuff works. See if I can. Should hold now. You're holding anything. Done. Those aren't coming out of there. Now, let's say the power is coming from this direction. It's going to come, it'll hit this, but that's dead. Then it'll go down this wire, go onto this little metal dealy here. Then it connects onto this wire and goes all the way down into the ground, which we'll show you here in a second. This wire is going to connect to the fence over there. The only point of it attaching here is so when you latch the gate, the hook goes in here, which gate's over there, but anyway, hook goes in here. Then once that gate latch hits this, it'll then electrify the 20-foot gate. Then that's good. And when you pull the thing off, that gate will be totally dead. That way it's not a, you know, just a nice little shock wire on the end of it to kill everybody with. We all know it won't kill everybody, but if you ever had kids, it'll hurt them pretty good. So we're going to go over here and show you how to do the other side. And you have the wire, you have the wrench spring. This was just a temporary deal while we were building some fence so we could keep cows out because they're in this other field. So this is more how everybody else would do a electric fence usually, even ourselves. But on this rotational grazing system, you gotta do it different. So this wire is now kaput. Don't need it anymore. Also don't need this on here. Give you guys a little close look at how these bolts work. They're called split bolts, but they have this washer, they go on. Most all you do every time is just hand tighten them, just barely get them on there. And it leaves this slot for the wires to go through, and then it just tightens up on them. Gives a good connection versus trying to wrap wires around each other and play the old hand tighten game around the wire. But you gotta loosen this one. I'm not even gonna use, grab the wrong wrench. slips out. Let this wire hug the post. And cut it off about there. Strip it. Through. The reason I hug the post is it just, like I said earlier, it keeps the cows and stuff from knocking it off, because they'll because it's electric fence, they'll tear up the plastic insulators and stuff if they really can get a hold of it. And this wire actually isn't hot, only when it comes to the bare wire. This is just insulated so it doesn't ground out everywhere. So if they can actually hit their nose on that and could rip it out of stuff. We don't want that. Tighten this back up. Now, then, this part we aren't going to show, but you guys will get the understanding of it. There's one step that won't be on this one because it was already here. But pretty much this is the hinge. You wrap it around the post, then wrap it around the insulator. Make sure that it goes in the opposite hole. That way if this insulator breaks, the wires still catch each other. Even though it'll ground out, it'll at least keep the fence up. But this will always be dead. But you just got to insulate it because you can't, of course, attach a wire to a steel post and not expect it to ground out. Then we're doing this from scratch. We'd have to string this wire and figure out how long it is, which is just kind of a back and forth game of figuring out where it goes. But this thing has a spring inside of it, so you have about an inch or ½ inch leeway, which this thing's all twisted. There. And then you just pop it in that hole and you're done. And there's your gate. Now we just got to backfill this and we'll show you guys the end result. But just to do an overview real quick, it's hot down this wire, it goes down this, it then electrifies this thing, which then electrifies this wire, goes underground, electrifies up and hits the fence over there, keeps the fence always hot. Then, now that you guys can see this again, now when I undo this, it's dead, and when we get the electric fence hooked up to it, you can actually tell if it's hot because you'll bring this up to here and it'll throw an arc between there because of the electricity. And once it's hooked in, then the gate's hot, cows can't go through here, and they're stuck. That is how you do a rotational grazing gate. Way professional compared to what I've seen multiple other people do, because most everybody doesn't care about the cap. And actually I don't even think it's a rule that you have to use these bolts. It just has a better connection. Most everybody else will just wrap the wire around and call it good. Some people even use hot wire instead of the insulated wire between here. The bad thing about that is over time this thing will sag or get pushed in, and then it'll touch this post, and then you got ground out, so you got to go everywhere and make sure it's not touching. This is the professional exact way that you should do it, in my opinion. But to each his own, you can do it however you want. This is just the primo way, the maverick way. That's it. We'll show you guys the backfilling and show you the after project afterward after it's done.
Well, that was one, and 9 more to go. We got our day cut out for us. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the bigger video of the whole thing, the whole rotational grazing system being put in. And have a blessed day.
See you, everybody.
Peace out.